Welcome back to the Backside Poddy. This week's episode, we chat about Grafton and Riverell, all things Aero bikes. The Q Tour is this weekend, and yesterday was Pat's Day. Woo!
2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas, and a scotch.
Yes?
500 watts, please.
Now let's introduce you to the Backsiders. Shawnee.
Yo, yo.
Kurto.
Ni hao.
Freebs.
Hello.
And our very special guest tonight, Johnny.
What's the crack, boys?
Yeah.
Mate, it is absolutely fantastic to hear.
Mate,
Boys, I'm so excited to be here.
what are those cans you got sitting in front of you?
Oh, well, I thought now, well, first, because being a first-time guest, I had to bring something special for everybody now. Half of the backside have already literally backed out of this challenge, but Kurt is like frothing here beside me. He's falling out of his shorts. He's so excited.
Mate,
He's popping seams.
I'm still
Threads.
recovering from the weekend, and I've never had a Guinness, so I thought, may as well. What could go wrong?
So they'll pick me up.
So
Hair of
for-
the dog.
if everyone's fairly aware of what Guinness is like.
But why are
one
we
of the-
doing it, Johnny? Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Right. So Guinness is great, number one, and comes from Ireland. But recently there's been this challenge where you try to split the G. So you dump your can of Guinness into your glass, and then in one drink, and one drink only, you try and split the G on the glass. Now, I did actually run around several Irish pubs today, and unsurprisingly, after St. Patrick's Day, there were no glasses left. So we're going to make do with a local brewery here, Rage Brewery. Freebs and I have been there a few times. That's where
But it was
dreams go to
St.
die.
Pat's Day on Sunday, and this is a tradition, right? So you got to have your Guinness on St. Pat's Day. We brought our Irishman in to do the St. Pat's Day thing, and I think this is going to be really interesting to see if I can do it, Johnny.
I hope so. So today we've got double diamond on the range glass, and the challenge will be in one drink, split the double diamond in the failure of not having a Guinness glass here to split the G. But it'll be close enough. You look pumped.
You look sweaty, Kurt.
I'm ready. I'm sweating out the alcohol from last weekend.
Hey, mate, I had a scatter of pints last night and I'm still here.
It's a bit different.
What did he just say?
I didn't understand a word you just said either, mate. So let's just continue on.
I love it when the Irishmen, they just had St. Pat's Day and they've been drinking Guinness last night. He was ill in character. And the accent just comes out twice as thick. Is that true, Johnny?
It actually does, yeah. The more I hang around Irish people, the thicker my accent gets. And depending on where they are, I'll gravitate more towards a heavy West of Ireland accent or a South of Ireland accent.
Because there's a difference.
Well, without further ado, should we crack them open and get this party started?
Let's do it.
A full throff.
So we're actually now a drinking podcast masquerading as a cycling podcast. Is
Why
that-
not?
Guinness out of a can is genuinely quite good.
You-
I reckon Kurto's done a better job, actually, of pouring.
He's
Oh,
done
well
a
done, buddy.
Great job. Look at that.
All right, let's split it.
Let's split this.
Jesus Christ, man. I hate beer. You know that, right? Oh, this is going to hurt.
The trick here is just trying to work out exactly how much.
So where are we going to? Where are we going to?
it's a
So we're going to
goal.
go dead center. Across the diamond there.
Look at me, Dad.
I wouldn't say it's that big of a drink. Now, I assume we're doing this at the same time.
Since you're the Grand Master, Johnny, show us,
You
Kurt,
go
how to do it.
first.
Let's go.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. This is
He's got a technique. See how
I
he's
do have
ready.
a technique. So
Did you see how he's lining that up then?
Let's count him in. 3, 2, 1,
go!
Yeah, the boys.
Show me. I can't see, Johnny.
Sir.
Oh, it's not bad.
It's not great either.
It's not great either.
I did one gulp less because I thought the glass was a bit smaller. and I
So you reckon about a 4 gulper? 4 blowies?
Yeah, and this is the thing, you got to be very confident in your gulp.
Yeah, there was a deliberate action to that.
And
Yeah.
and you did a better pour than Johnny as well, so you got more to drink.
All right.
I reckon
Kurt,
five,
Go, Kurto.
five gulps.
we'll count you in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeehaw, yeah, the boys.
Oh, shit.
I thought you said you didn't like beer. It doesn't look like it.
Oh, mate. I didn't know how much we were drinking. Yeah, that
Johnny,
was...
give us a look, Johnny. Where's he got it to?
Oh dear, he's sailed straight past it. He's sailed straight past it.
Oh, well.
Still a pretty good effort. At first, actually, I thought you were going to knock it back in one go and go, there you go.
Yeah,
now.
I was tempted. I was tempted. But
That
then
would
I
have
was
been
like,
cool. That would have been cool.
Who's the winner? Johnny Just.
yeah, Johnny easily got me there.
First win on the pod side.
number one.
So one of the pubs I went into, they had Guinness, and I was like, "Oh, can I get one of your Guinness glasses?" And they're like, "Oh, we only just got them. We're not getting rid of them." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Can I have a pint of Guinness then?" And they're like, "No, because I think we know what's going to happen to the glass afterwards." I'm like, fair call.
Well, now that the fun's over, what a way to start the party over here.
Kirk got his ass handed to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he didn't because he was quite impressive. He had the biggest gulp of them all.
He does.
Standard Kurto.
Standard, mate. Standard. But
Very impressive.
What do you think of the flavour, Kurt? Would you have it again?
I would have it again. I probably will at the regatta this weekend. Even though I said I wasn't going to drink, I probably will end up at the regatta and we'll have one.
Well, if you do manage to make it, try and split the G and see if you can get some of the video for it, and we can post it up as a post ad.
Will do, mate. I need to learn the technique. I tried to probably put about 2 gulps too many.
Oh,
Standard.
This is how you learn. It was a good first effort, though.
it was. How was your weekend, Kurt?
Mate,
The week that was?
the week that
With a
was,
smile on his face.
Yeah, I was on a proper bender, mate, for once. This was a proper bender. And it didn't start on Friday. It actually started on Thursday night.
Perfect.
So
Good old-fashioned Larry Emder.
Yeah, so Thursday night I probably had about 1.5 hours of sleep. And then had to go to Shawnee's and pick him up for boys' weekend down in Melbourne for the F1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the boys.
Flights, ACOM, all-inclusive.
Red Bull.
Red Bull tent. And the best thing of it all was I've gone, oh shit, we got 2 rooms. That's great. Like I was thinking we were just going to share a room. But mate, my
good room.
yeah, the rooms are amazing. My room wasn't fucking ready until 5:30 in the
Oh,
afternoon.
mate, you should complain about that.
Nah, I couldn't really complain, mate, when we had everything for free. But to be honest, we were so cut going back into the hotel at 5:30 in the afternoon.
We found a happy hour, $10 pints.
That's not bad.
$10
Oh,
pints.
that's.
And it was about
Can't walk away from
30
that.
degrees.
Heinies, what were they?
Mate, literally
what?
every drink
Any
was
beer?
$10.
And any drink, mate.
Oh, yes.
And we were like, oh, we'll just have 2. So we got 2
Standard.
first. No.
2 per round.
So
To
the-
start.
No.
I was thirsty too.
And then 2 per round each.
Yeah.
And then
$40.
And then I've called my mate and he's like, oh, I'm only just around the corner. Let's go. There we go again. Another round. And mate, yeah. But to be honest, we did go to the pub across the road and I paid $40
For 2.
for 2 pints.
Yeah, no good.
That was red hot expensive.
yeah.
Where were you? In the city?
Yeah, just in the city. Just
Back Street.
Just a normal point.
yeah. Oh,
Like something good or.
yeah, it was a hard solo, the $20.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Extra vodka?
$10, mate, was a hard solo as well. But overall,
Melbourne tax.
F1 was an unreal weekend.
Bucket list stuff.
Mate, it was
But,
buckets.
and we did it the right way too.
We did do it the right way.
Well done, boys.
We had some big nights.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything to that, Shawnee, since you got
No.
the same weekend?
No, he's wrapped up my weekend too.
I
What was your name again?
I did
Asterisk.
did let the team down with a little spew on the Saturday. So I had to wake up early the next day, go get some good seats, and I think I did come in pretty hot
Yeah.
at 8 a.m. getting in my seat indoors for the rain day.
Yeah.
At least I got to
was
watch 2 races, unlk everyone else.
Yeah.
I got to watch the F3.
F3.
The F3, mate.
F3 was happening whilst I was still in bed.
and, and I'm sitting there sweating while it was 20 degrees.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, great weekend. And yeah, mate,
Tick.
today I've been wrecked.
What's today? Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. We got back yesterday, Monday.
Why'd you come back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just slept the whole day and I was just wrecked.
Mate, I had 11 hours sleep last night. I don't think I've slept that long since I was born.
I had 7 hours last night and I thought that was good. But yeah, jeez.
Yeah, it was a big
Well
weekend.
done, lads.
It was.
How was your weekend, Freeves?
Wasn't as
south?
exciting as that, I can tell you that much.
Oh, what? Grafton Inverell? That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
That is something that you kind of do have a number of moments where you actually think, fuck, I'd rather be somewhere else. And
Correct. I've done that before.
I did have that thought as I crested the top of the climb, not with the front group. And just the whole way to the first feed station was just horrible. Just
Really?
didn't enjoy it one bit. Went too deep on the climb. Couldn't stay with the front group.
What time did you do up the climb?
46 and a bit.
Yep.
So pedaling a few squares then, you reckon?
Tell us about the climb, Freebs. Like, what happened, mate?
Well, it all took off from before the bottom, as it kind of always does. It ended up being like an hour effort rather than 45, 50 minutes.
So everyone was pretty excited at the start.
Everyone was pretty excited. Obviously, it's a big group too because it's when it's open grades versus before it used to be ABCD. You know, you do get a much bigger group because you've got all these other people trying to like either they're doing a pairs race. There's all these different people going on. So it makes it a bit more interesting at the start of the climb. Everyone's like kind of fighting for position. Anyway, it was on like of all the times I've done it, it's like PR for the first half and first little bits of stuff. So it was a fair bit of oomph on the bottom, and it just
Who was really taking it up at the bottom?
Miller was definitely throwing his weight around, and another young guy his name eludes me, but he definitely was pretty keen to shake off as many as he could. About 2/3 of the way up, I decided that was enough, and Sammy Madden from Place racing here in Brisbane, he also said that's probably about the right time to maybe go up together.
Still a long way to go.
Sammy Madden, he's a strong rider.
He's going real good. And anyway, so we then just spent the next sort of 10, 15 minutes just working to try and get up over the top, and then we just then actually caught another group that must have just dropped after us about 10k down the road. So we jumped on with them and ended up being 6 of us. But we get to the feed station and pretty much those other boys were starting to struggle. And we lost one of the C9 boys, Big Jace. He decided that was enough at Glen Innes and pulled up stumps there. And
Jason Thomas?
yeah, and
He pulled up stumps, didn't he?
yep.
Didn't even want to roll in.
No, mate, it's a place you can't. It's just so brutal. Like if you're not in it, you're out of it. Like it's
I know.
100%.
It's like-
My first G2I, same thing. I went similar to I had tickets on myself going up the first time round. Had gotten super light for the race, come over the top, had been dropped from the front group, and then was getting battered around in the wind coming over the top. And like just toys out of the pram, had a bit of a tanty, climbed off the bike, and it drove to the end, and it was all sunny and lovely.
Well, funny you say you bloody crack the shits, Johnny, because I threw a tantrum at the first feed zone in my first Grafton. And I hopped off the bike, and then I had some words, and I hopped back on, and it was a very, very lonely ride for probably 30 or 40 Ks until one of the back groups caught me, and we just rolled turns, and it was like Boise and all that sort of stuff. We were just talking shit. But I was just like, it's a brutal race, Grafton.
mate.
Yeah.
Once you're at the top of the climb, you think you kind of got the majority of it done, but it's just wears you down. It was, obviously it was a lot earlier in the year this year than it had been in the past. So
Yep.
it was super hot at the back there.
Well, obviously, the wind was definitely in your favour, though.
It kind of
Because-
came in, we definitely had a tally at some points and a lot of crossy.
Yeah.
It was definitely better than it was, nasty.
Because the Pro Velo boys did it in 5:38.
Yeah, it's quick. It's
Which
one of the faster years.
Would have to be a course record, surely.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. Then so we just unfortunately we were sort of a couple of minutes behind at the first feed station. So there was 12 of them that got over the climb. So they were working really well together apparently, according to Chris's Strava file, and they just worked really well, just constantly chopping. And 12's obviously stronger than 4 at that point.
Correct. Yeah. Especially 12 strong guys.
Yeah, the 12 strongest guys got over the climb. So,
Yeah.
they're all hitting along. It was a bit disappointing that it didn't manage to make the first break, but I'm just glad I sort of hung in there because it was pretty easy to pull out at that point. There's a fair few people pulled out at the first feed zone. So
Right.
it's just a funny race. Like I didn't start cramping till after the climb, which is first. Sometimes you can cramp before the climb, and like even the first climb. I actually felt really comfortable on the first one, but about halfway up the climb, I just sort of went kaboom. I was 186 beats and,
Ooh.
just pouring sweat out like the old the big diesel engine was just overheating, so
You blew a gasket.
blew a gasket, mate. So anyway, we got onto Glen Innes, dropped a few. It was only Tim Durkin, Sammy, myself, and another guy from I think Sydney, and when the four of us rolled until we got to the other side of the feed zone where Tim sort of said that was enough. And then we picked up a few like Benny Nepal and a few others along the way, and that 12, I think I came in ninth, I think it was. So he must have picked up 3 along the way, and it was, mate. I'm glad I finished it. Had a lot of dark moments at a few times, which doesn't tend to happen for me on the bike. So it wasn't a fun day, but I was glad I finished it, and I'm better for the experience.
How did your nutrition go in the end?
Yeah, good question. So I definitely fueled well. I did a bit of low res the day or two beforehand, so that was helpful. And then obviously was whacking the 90s in the bottle plus a gel for the first couple of hours. I didn't wake up with the best guts, so I felt a bit funny at the start. So that kind of did follow through until probably around about the second feed zone. I started feeling good again.
Jeez, that's a long wait to feel good.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
What do you reckon set your stomach off?
I don't know if it's nerves or what it is, but
Okay.
sometimes who knows. But
Yeah.
Not enough fiber and too much carbs.
maybe, I don't know. But I never ran out of energy. I didn't bonk. Like I didn't have a bonk or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like it was
Sturka got you going.
Sturka stirred me up. So I never felt like I'd ran out of energy. My legs weren't there.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Johnny, I think I did that well considering it just didn't have the legs.
Did you end up 120 grams per hour or?
Yeah, I was probably in the first 2 hours, probably a bit over that. But I'd planned to have 2 gels up the climb, and I didn't have a single gel on the climb.
Yeah, right. Just because you were in the red?
I was in the red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I did go over a bit in the first 2 hours and I'm kind of glad I did, but yeah, I literally had nothing in the third hour other than what I could squeeze out of a bottle whilst, breathing out my ass. So, yeah, so...
We all love a bit of ass.
So, yeah, just trying to get any oxygen anywhere he possibly can. Some have gills. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. But I think I didn't feel like I ran out of energy. I just didn't have the legs.
I like that though. Sometimes you go and you get towed up and it puts a bit of fire in the belly, man. I like that. You get shown what good looks like, and you're like, you go away and you get back to some hard work.
Yeah, I definitely got a lesson. It was good. It's what I needed.
Ahead of this weekend, where we're going to be showing what
showing
good
up again.
looks like again.
Well, that's different. That's Pro Velo versus Open, so that's obvious.
So what happened? What happened today, Freebs?
I got the big call up. Whitey
With the Niners.
with the Niners. So the boys have been hitting them. They did so well down at Grafton as well. Sammy got 5th, I think it was.
Yep.
And Nico and Benny got 26.
Yeah, 26
7th?
and 27th.
7th?
They crossed the line together, I
Yeah,
think. Yep.
holding hands.
Yep.
Did they?
No, I don't know.
They would. Those two.
They would.
Ben the flower pot man.
Yeah, and even our boy Matty May last week, he came 17th on the show.
Yep. He did well.
He did well, but no,
That's a good ride by Matty May, not knowing what day it is. Surprised he even woke up for his freaking.
I'm surprised he even got there.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how he got there.
Listening to that story about how he was going to get the bus down there,
mate.
race G2I, it's just mental.
I would have just flown back home to Perth, to be honest.
I wouldn't have got the plane. So no, we got Whitey gave us a call up this weekend. I was first reserve, thinking I was going to be just like a privateer, Jim Bob, like a young carefree,
free to do your own
free
thing,
to do
mate.
what you want. Now I'm well and truly in the team and we'll tow order. But
I doubt you'll
Gonna be put to work.
I doubt you'll even do anything. You'll do the classic AW move. No water to a teammate, make them suffer. You're in the bigger hurt box, aren't you?
yeah, of course. It's like that bloke trying to wrestle me for my water up the bloody Falls Creek last year.
Funny you say first reserve. So I got the call up just before the F1 weekend for the Pro Velo. And I was like, oh, yeah, no.
Decisions.
No
Decisions.
dramas. I'll be fine. I'll be able to back it up. Anyway, Rhino messaged me yesterday on the flight home. And he goes, how was the weekend, mate? I said, large.
Yeah.
Very large. He goes, still feeling good for the weekend? I said, nope.
Not a chance.
So I was subbed in and I've subbed myself out. And we've got Brent Reese coming in. So
That's a handy
that's a handy
replacement.
yeah, so he's it's a race. All the races suit Brent a lot. So
Yeah, he's a winner.
he'll be one to watch, I reckon.
Yeah, well, just quickly finish off on Grafton. Obviously, we had Kieran there from the C9, the Niners, and he was at the first feed zone. And my little dog was there, and young Ruby was.
Oh, you brought Ruby?
Yeah, yeah, had to take her down there. Poor the poor dog got tied up to a post. About 20 minutes, was just barking and crying the whole time. Poor old Kevy B sort of came up to me at the KFC at Inverell and says, "Mate, geez, your dog can bark." She was just struggling hard, just crying, just wanting to get let off the rope. Anyway, Kieran comes over with a cup of coffee and just I'll sit with to Amber whilst you go and feed Andrew. And anyway, he unfortunately she pulled him over and knocked his coffee out of his hand, and he lost his coffee. So shout out to Kieran, we owe you a coffie, mate. So thanks for looking after the dog.
Fair play.
Fucking hell, mate.
She's aggressive, mate.
Train your dog, please.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, apparently some commissaire wasn't real happy about it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, too much barking. Who brings a dog to a bike race?
Oh, me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who also runs a bike race on fucking Mother's Day? You remember when they used to do that? That's what I would just say to them. Stick it.
who runs a bike race on F1 weekend?
Yeah.
Especially that. It's the first thing you should look for.
They didn't give me a refund either. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you got a free ticket.
Yeah.
Will they let you run it next year, though?
No,
roll it over.
they
Should have
legit
said you had a cyclone effect.
crickets. Crickets from them.
How'd you go with
I-
that skirt, by the way?
I got one email back. What's that?
Cyclone affected me.
Oh, yeah.
My fridge went flat.
Say all your nutrition's gone. Couldn't come down.
Mate, you
Had a
need
medical emergency.
Had an electric car.
yeah. Speaking of, Jim Bob, you've got power back on at your house, eh?
Welcome back, Jim Bob.
He had to tie
Welcome back
down
to
a
the
solar-
Backside Poddy.
No, he had to
You've
tie a
charged a
solar
Tesla
panel.
up.
No, he had to fucking put a solar panel on his roof, mate, to get it out.
Mate, if you have solar panels on your roof in a
You're safe.
power outage, you don't have power. It's got to be connected up to the grid.
Thank you, engineer.
You need a battery bank. You need a battery bank.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did 5.5 years to tell me that. You know how long I went to uni for? 4 years, and I attended it 6 times. In person, man.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's fantastic to be back, isn't it? Anyway, yes,
we
I
missed
do.
you last week.
I do have power back at my house, and my family is all well again, and I was able to go ride on the weekend.
Just
It's not G2I.
no
Just
detail.
not G2I, which was very disappointing. But
I'm sure it was.
we're ready to back it up this weekend at Q Tour. Got out for a race at Lakeside on Saturday morning.
How'd you go?
How'd you go?
Man, I don't know if I was just struggling or if everyone else is just pinging at the moment, but everyone else seems to be just riding so quick at the
I
moment.
could get around both, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd say both is pretty true.
Yeah.
Lambo decided to ride off the front for 55 minutes.
Why not?
Jesus.
Don't blame
Did
him.
400 watts for the hour.
Oh,
And
Was this part of his lactate test?
I don't know.
I think it's
It's just,
lactating.
mate. So I think
and he didn't get the win.
no. So
Did
we,
he get the...
we caught him with 1 lap to go, which was contentious because he went across the line on 1 hour, and they just decided to. They were like, "Nah, there's still 2 laps to go." So they got 1 lap at 1 hour and 3 minutes, and the race went for 1 hour and 7 minutes.
And they just break you mentally. That
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
that breaks you.
Because you,
Such
you,
a long
you,
lap.
you think you're done. You think you're
poor
done.
bastard. Anyway,
And at about 59, you're sort of begging them just to
Yeah.
call it. Call it.
Oh,
You look at them. Come on, come on, come on.
well, they held off doing the preem until 52 minutes because
Oh, come on.
the front as well.
So they really didn't want him to get anything.
Nah, they're like, mate, after Lambo's performance the other day, he's like, they're nah,
Anyway.
not letting you win.
So back in the Pello, it was just the tandem boys, the young fellas, the kids just lighting it up.
What, trying to chase Lambo down?
Oh, they were just racing bikes, mate.
So they're on the Finn Walsh, Liam Walsh specialty. Chase your own teammate down.
No,
Sounds like
they
it.
were just trying to break the bunch up and ride across. I mean, everyone wants to win a race, man. So, yeah, young Fletcher was there and all the other young fellas racing not like a team, but everyone's here to race, man.
To be
So
honest, it is a Saturday race.
it's a
You don't
Saturday
really
morning
have to.
crit. Anyway, every time up the hill it was 500-600 watts, and yeah, it was pretty brutal. Anyway, good little tune up for this weekend, Q Tour.
How you feeling for that, mate?
Mate, I just want to finish. I want to finish on Sunday.
Lovely.
That's as far as my ambitions go.
It's a spicy finish.
and
Oh, yeah.
and potentially maybe do some things to help the other boys out.
You're not going to go for a TV break on Sunday?
No, he's going GC win, mate. He's
All GC.
Yeah, he's fine for that WT contract still, mate. 40 years old. You got to get that.
Do you know how hard it is to get on the break? Like,
No. Because I'm not,
We'll
I'm
soon
not that
find.
good.
We'll soon find out.
Oh, if I could get in the break and not pull a turn, oh man! How
All
good
right.
would that
Well,
be?
maybe let's. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And maybe
You heard
just
it
gee
here
a few
first.
of the young lads up. Like, I just want to get into the break to say to the lads, I did it.
I'm
I'll
an
give
old
you like a
man.
tenner if you let me.
Mate, that would get him freaking 3 weeks
some money
of
for some
racing.
crisps afterwards. Does your mum know you're here?
I won't tell her. I'll cover for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Get you a few beers afterwards.
Yeah, I'll give you. That's my old chestnut. Just make sure they're 18.
That's the week that was for me, boys. Johnny,
Yeah, Johnny.
Welcome.
what was your week like?
Johnny-
What was my
Kerr.
week like? Oh, well, I suppose cycling, I've trying to build and get some form for Tour de Brisbane after not really racing at all last year. And I think as Nathan Van Hooydonk once said, just been suffering in the wheels, eh? I train with Freebs, suffering in the wheels. Go out and race Muzz, suffering in the wheels. Go out this morning, suffering in the wheels. My gosh, it's a shit sport.
But you love it.
I do love it, yeah, and it's nice. There's some like green shoots, like glistening leaves now in parts of my legs, and I'm like, oh, maybe it'll come good, or maybe it'll be like freeze and I'll be absolutely effed when it comes to Tour de Brisbane. We'll give it a go though. Enjoy me back on the bike.
I reckon Tour de Brisbane's going to be pretty big. Hey, like it's
Bicey.
the last chance for everyone to qualify for Worlds.
That's
In
right.
the second half of the year.
And there's a lot of like even in this group now we're all interested in going down to Worlds just to kind of take part in it. I mean, like I know maybe Chris Miller and co, and maybe even Freebs would have a chance of
I'm
actually
looking forward
a
to
really
getting
good
The
result.
jersey and the Knicks.
Jersey, yeah.
The Australian jersey.
Yeah,
Nick.
and it's not my most favourite thing, but I'm just looking forward to having a set, assuming I can qualify.
I reckon you can, mate.
When is
October.
Tour de Brisbane though?
Oh, sorry.
April the 14th.
So I've got
Always.
3 weeks
Sunday
to
the
train.
13th, yeah.
You can do it, mate.
I've got 3 weeks to train.
It's going to be a big boys trip at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, that'll be a big boys
Well,
trip.
we
That's
should,
going to
we
be
should
fun.
almost plan accommodation already for
We're
us.
on-
I reckon.
So what I was going to say is if I qualify freebie pays for my ACOM and flights down, sounds great. sounds great.
Don't you work?
Nah.
You can travel under Campbell's now.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't you Campbell? Come and
Can't
have a
you
chat
just
to him.
like taking Uber Eats down there and like you get food
Get a
on
job,
the way
mate.
and you get a free drive?
And then you can have 70 meals you can get on the way down for free.
Mate, I'm an honest worker. I'm the backbone
Mate,
of
he's
this
done
show.
almost 2,000 Uber deliveries.
Get fucked.
Really?
Wait, I met someone with a worse rating than me.
What, in Melbourne?
Yeah, no. I honestly thought it was a piss day. I was like,
What is your rating?
It's 83%.
That's not bad.
Oh,
Seemed that
It's nearly a pass, mate.
Nah.
Hey.
So,
That's 1 in 5.
mate, you want to be
This one.
90 or above because then you can keep tearing up and getting like better discounts. So, like, if you really gave a rat's ass, you can get like 12 cents off a litre on your car.
Whoop you fucking do.
Yeah, correct.
Mate, you're on the scooter anyway.
No, I'm in a car with no number plate, mate. So who's saying you have to fill up? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I met a guy that had 81%.
That's great.
And I was like, geez.
Mate, I've got you.
Oh, wow. There you go. Fun fact.
Anything else for your week, Johnny?
St.
After all
Paddy's Day. St. Paddy's
Oh,
Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so I went to the St. Patrick's Day parade on Saturday, resplendent in a full...
Leprechaun.
well, not a leprechaun kit, but not far off. The Sean
on.
Kelly on-post Continental team kit.
Okay. So I was about to ask, what is the dress that you get up in for St. Pat's Day? Or does everyone just wear a green polo shirt and go to the pub, or is it like there's an authentic, original Irish thing that you're meant to wear?
Leprechaun suit.
No leprechaun suit. I mean, like, because it's a
Like
St.
it's
Patrick's
like
Day at home.
Scots
is a-
have kilts, for example.
No, we don't have anything. I mean, like you could say like the little tweed hat. Maybe the owl fellas would go along, but my wife would like literally kill me if I did that. I showed up at a friend's 70s team birthday party, and myself and my friend went to 70-year-old men. And because I looked I looked like my dad, and I had this little cap on, like
She was
Jackie
like-
nearly left me like right there
Yeah.
and then.
This is what I married.
She's like, I didn't want to marry Pat Carr.
Pat Carr, he sounds like a weapon.
He is a weapon.
Look at his son.
Him and Lethal will get on well.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow.
He'll love a shout out. So he's going to love that when he listens to the podcast.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, at home, because it's like a proper national holiday, everyone gets behind it. So there's no like fancy dress or anything like that. But everyone will wear green and have something green to go. And if you can, go and have a Guinness and definitely go and watch the parade. Yeah, it was fun. It was nice to see so many people show up on Saturday. And then yesterday, my brother-in-law called me and was like, "Oh, will we go for a pint, singular?" It was not a singular pint. If it was singular, it was very one long, continuous pint. So when I woke up this morning to go with Freeves, I mean, like I was
didn't talk a
suffering
lot.
at the wheels, yeah.
He didn't talk a lot, but he was bloody excited to be on the podcast tonight. That's for sure.
We're
Yeah.
loving having him here.
I was popping threads.
But I'll tell you what, we've talked some freaking dribble.
Yeah,
in the
we're a fair way through.
last little bit. So let's just recap Grafton. Pro Velo, Tristan Saunders got the win there.
Great win. He's
Yeah.
deserving of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like look at Brendan Davids.
He's a mule.
He is a mule. He was in the first break. They
Yep.
got 9 minutes, and then they managed to stay away. Once they got caught, and mate, it was impressive.
Nah, big shout out goes to Zach Marriage though.
Oh mate,
Zach
He's
Marriage,
been
spirit
manhandled.
animal.
for forever
bride-
second,
the
mate.
bride-
He's been
Bridesman.
manhandled the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Forever. He keeps such a positive attitude, which I love. Like,
Love that.
He's,
Races so positively as well.
yeah,
Is he still a chance
he's still a chance.
to get?
So him and Jack Ward are probably
The only two.
Yeah, it'll be a good battle, but I think Jack's going pretty red hot too. He didn't do Grafton, Jack Ward. He chose mountain bike nats
Yes.
over.
He won that too, didn't he?
No, he comes
Yeah,
second.
did he come second? Did he?
Sam
So
Fox won that.
that's right. But a bit of juice from Grafton from the Pro Velo was Mark O'Brien got disqualified for drafting. Now I got some hot intel from the CDF boys, and they've done a full CDA analysis on this, and they reckon he would have needed to be as Aero as a needle to get the speed and time that he did through the segment where he's saying he didn't draft a car. So
Given the watts he's putting out.
given the watts he's putting out and the speed he was doing.
Apparently, he bridged a 2-minute gap just like nothing.
Hats off to Mark. He's very strong, but I don't know why he needs to do this. He's got the talent there. He's got the power there.
Well, mate, 2 minutes behind those boys, you got no chance of catching them probably.
Yeah, well, all right. So let's draft a car for 2 minutes.
Yeah, so that's the other option, right?
Well,
But like Freeves
Well,
was
I know
saying,
someone you can just go get someone's mum to just open a boot up and
yeah.
she might just drive
Corso
it down.
King.
Good old
The
Di.
Corso King himself.
Yeah, so you might just get a car boot. I'm more than happy to do
Maybe
that.
Di was out there.
Maybe I can do that at the Q2 for you boys. I don't know. You might see me with my Uber Eats backpack on a moped. Who knows?
I would love you to come around the side of the pillow and just pick me
Yelling.
and Freeves up.
Just
be
yelling.
Like, yeah,
Just hand me a bucket of chips, slice of pizza.
I don't even know where the race is going, but I'm going to feed the chooks. Like, you guys going up Cootha or anything like that?
Nah.
Oh, jeez, I would have loved to run.
That's
beside
bottom
you
of
guys.
Campbell's pocket, mate.
Yeah, you did. Campbell's pocket.
Oh, there you go. I could run up in Burks. Let's do that.
You were saying, Johnny? Marco?
like what you were saying, when you're in G2I and you get so far into the race, you do start to lose your marbles sometimes. And I think it could be something that you just snap, you know. I mean, like it could have been just as simple as that for Mark.
I've got to
Like,
get across.
Yeah, you see an opportunity and you just go for it. Like we've seen it in like QRTS races. We see it in pro races. I mean, there's a really famous example of Vincenzo Nibali, like on the side of a car, ripping up a hill past a load of people, and gets like chucked out of the race because they didn't realize the helicopter camera was on them. So, a rush of blood to the head. At the end of the day, it's racing.
That's
That's
it.
It's
so
racing.
Italian,
Sometimes
isn't it?
can happen.
The only thing-
Yeah,
the
it's
only
just
thing
a
I'll
car
say-
ripping it.
Sticky bottles. The only thing I'll say is that what impact did he have on the race? And apparently he was very impactful after that. He was
Correct.
right
Well,
into it.
I think he rolled in for fourth or something, or
Yeah.
fourth or fifth.
Fifth, I think.
Yep. You got to have some impact on the race to be rolling into that position. So,
Missing out on a month's worth of pay there as well. Oh, well.
yeah.
Shame.
But one shout out was Nick Pedal. He was ripping it up the range and
Plenty of good photos of him doing that.
yep. So ripping it for the
Local
Cobra
boys.
Love
And,
to see Nico on the front.
He's in terrific form at the moment.
Outside of his natural habitat, normally a sprinter. trying to masquerade as a climber. Dirty dog.
But he's got, when I seen him the first time, I'm like, oh, this guy must be a climber. And then we were like rolling around the track and he like drops this 1600 watt sprint and I'm like, I'm going home. Fuck this.
This is what talent looks like.
This is what it looks like. I've been going around saying, boys, I'm a sprinter. I am. And then he comes by and I'm like, nah, I just like ride bikes every now and then.
Loves it. And what happened in the
Well, yeah, the Gina Ricciardo showing her talent there. Got the win over Rachel Wales and Riley Ackroyd. Local girls Abby McLean and Tully Schweitzer came in fourth and fifth. So, and the Pratt sisters 13th and 17th, which is always good to see.
Favourites of the show.
Favourites of the show. I didn't catch much of the women's race, so I can't really comment on it.
Didn't catch much of the whole weekend, let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
We were in love.
I was doing a bit of panic bloody note taking the Savi, and
That's as far as you got.
Yeah, great effort by them in
This
the
year, the women started at the top at the jail though, the correctional centre. Sorry,
and finished in Inverell.
So they rotate year on year.
And shout out to Tully, actually. She's currently second in the under-19 classification overall. So
Impressive.
she could be in for a chance to
Home tour.
to get the win there. So keep an eye on her this weekend. That'll be good to see. Now, what's this we've got about Aero bikes, Freebs?
Yeah, just I think there's a lot of things in the peloton at the moment. Everyone's talking about the new tech that's coming out, and fan favourite. There's a lot of people here that like to go fast and like to ride aero bikes. I think most of us are sitting on one, and I just thought it's worth. Apart from Kurt, he's got an old
Tractor,
so that doesn't really count. But we've got obviously with Bike Bug, they look after Glenago, and they've got the Y1 RS coming out in the next few weeks, months, whatever it might be. And, obviously that bike's being claimed to be 20 watts faster than the V4.
That is a big claim.
At 50k an hour.
Oh, yeah. We're all riding at 50k an hour.
Particularly.
Yeah,
We're pretty close. We'd be close to 50k an hour.
In the wind.
Oh, no. I'm never in the wind. I'm always on the wheel.
And then, that's at a zero yaw, so that's a lot for someone at POG speed who is actually doing 50k an hour.
Absolutely.
So, there's obviously a benefit for everyone, but as it goes down, it probably goes less, obviously.
If Lambo was on the Y1 RS at Lakeside, he would have...
You wouldn't have seen him.
Yep.
God help us all.
Yep.
For the rest of us mere mortals, doesn't make a scrap worth the difference, You
ride a aero bike, Jim Bob?
I do. I have a Cervelo S5.
Of course you do.
Because they are just fast.
They are good. Johnny, you got a Tarmac?
That's right, Tarmac SL7, and used to have a Venge before that.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Which one did you like better out of the Venge and the SL7?
SL7.
Is it comfier or is it faster?
Oh, both.
I'm not a fan of those Venges though.
The old school one.
The old Venge, the original Venge
Cavendish
was
job.
a fantastic bike. And interestingly, the one that came after it, the Vias, was actually a bit of a dog because they hadn't built it particularly well. But it's interesting to see things like the Gullwing bars, which was trialled on the Vias and just didn't work.
And they look horrible. They
Yeah.
I think Specialized cocked that up.
Oh, yeah. The bars were apparently really flexy as well.
Yeah.
So they had the right idea. They were just in the wrong place. And I think you've seen Cervelo perfect it, with the double gull wing. And now we see the full gull wing on the Y1 RS, which when I seen it the first time, I'm like, watch everybody change them out. There'll be too much flex in the bars. But they seem to have found a way to make it work. The nice thing about the gull wing style bars that you see on the S5s and the Y1 RS is the ability for the bars to actually come down into the top of the head tube and meet with the top tube. So on the list here today, we've got like the new Ridley Noah Fast. So when the Uno X team were using these at UAE Tour, some of the guys were walking around and you could see none of them had either a one bar setup or a different bar setup because none of them could get it to work, whether it's a case of their fit or how much reach they had, then they couldn't actually neaten up the front end. Whereas when you have the Y-style bars or the Gullwing bars, it's a lot easier to work with that. It's still a faff with all the cables. And that's what we've seen with aero bikes now, is just trying to clean up the front end of the bike.
Well, that's what's on the wind, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Front of the bike, yeah.
Front of the bike. But aero is much more than just the front of the bike. we call it drag for a reason, because all the negative stuff is happening behind you. So all the eddies being created, all the negative pressure that's dragging you back. So a bit like a curry. It's all good going on the front end, but when it comes out the back end, that's where the trouble is. And such as it is in Aero.
God, I'm loving this right now. I just got a big old fatty over
You
here.
two engineers just hand shandies under the table.
Full blown engineer chat.
Too much.
Oh yeah, but it is
first class honours.
100%.
Oh, there you go.
Only the best for Johnny. But then the Van Riesel's looking good. I see it's been claimed to be 13 watts faster, and that's at 45, Shawnee. That's more.
Yeah, that's more our sort of.
That's more doable.
Exactly.
They've stiffened it up.
That'd be good on the GBC, to be honest.
Mate,
Yeah.
It's made for it.
That is made for it.
I haven't seen much of this bike, to be honest.
So they've been testing this for quite a while, and Sam Bennett, one of my personal favourites.
Irishman.
I rode beside
yes.
him once at the Tour Down Under, and nearly fell off because my chub was sticking my spokes.
Oh, Jesus.
God, that's Sam Bennett.
That's a big wang.
the big wang.
But yeah, a lot of work has gone into the RCRF, and much like the RCR, I don't think anybody expected the bike to be as good as it was. I know they had a few teething issues with the very first test development ones, with a bit too much flex in them. But now we're seeing it
Stiffened
show
up.
up a lot more. And old Sammy B nearly got the win in the last stage of Tirreno Adriatico. It was actually a really good drag race sprint with Jonathan Milan. You could say Jonathan Milan and Tim Murley are probably two fastest men in the world based on early season forms.
That's a tough squirt to win.
Yeah, there's a tough squirt. Is Sammy doing San Remo this weekend?
Sammy's due to ride San Remo, right? And we'll see him again at the Giro d'Italia.
Well, let's hope he can get over the climb.
It's crazy how he was
Cipressa?
the best sprinter that one year at the Tour de France when he was it with De Koenig?
Yeah, he was with the kind of quick step at the time.
And then it's just gone pear-shaped since.
Yeah, it's
Getting old.
He's getting old.
It's interesting though. The next year, he's had a terrific start to the season, winning in UAE, winning against Wevelgem, and was all on for winning the Tour. And then he's injured his knee and done quite a bad. And then Cav takes his spot, and you're like, oh, what's Cav going to do? And Cav almost changes the world with the tour that he has, and it's pretty incredible. But then Sam went to Bora Hansgrohe.
Back to Bora.
And that should have been everything on paper. Looked like that was going to be fantastic. Shane Archibald was in the lead out. Danny Van Poppel was there.
The best.
Everything looked. Ryan Mullen was there, the Irish TT champ. And yeah, apart from a handful of races at the Vuelta where they really locked in, they just couldn't repeat. For a long time, we weren't even sure if he'd even make another contract. But he's done well at the Decathlon Agi d'Isère, and it'll be interesting to see now if he goes well at the Giro. And hopefully get a few more wins. He's had a strong start to the season, but on not real big World Tour races. I think against the Jonathan Milans and Tim Marley.
Bit of a downfall like Viviani, basically,
Who?
Yeah, well, Viviani, he got turf from Ineos so that Caleb Ewan could get one more crack at it.
Yeah. Now, getting back to that tarmac, Johnny, the change to that this year has been the big increase on that front wheel post the Olympics with Remco. That's the big change this year. They've gone up on that front wheel versus the rear wheel.
In terms of width?
Depth. And it's definitely on the depth and probably the width. I haven't seen the stats on the width, but
depth
it would
and
be
width
width as well.
And so, when I talked earlier on about being worried about the eddies at the back, where you're pulling pressure, this is where it comes into with this front wheel development. Because Freebs talked about yaw angle earlier on, and most testing is done at 0 degrees, but the real world is you've got wind coming at you from 5 to 15 degrees. And so what they're finding is, with these sort of more oval shaped front wheels, it reduces a lot of these negative pressure spots around the front wheel, keeps the front wheel far more stable, as well as giving an aerodynamic advantage. Because when that dirty air comes off the front wheel, you want to make sure that it has a way through the bike.
Gets out
So
of
just like we're seeing things like much wider forks on the bikes, which does two things. A, it's wider because we're working with disc brakes, but also having the blades further out so that they're impacting the flow into your legs. So you're getting more of a system effect. The same with the with tires as we move to bigger tire sizes, which you have like the rolling resistance as you roll at lower pressures, but also when you match that to a wider rim, again, the turbulent flow around it gets smoothed out, and then you're mapping that through to the down tube. And we've seen even down tubes, and I say the Y1RS is a good example where their down tube, they've probably borrowed quite a lot from the Pinarello Dogma designs, which almost looks like they've done it in two halves. They see the airflow that's coming off the top of the wheel, and then the airflow that's going to be around the back.
Well, the front half's an S5.
Without a doubt. And the back half is a Trek Madone.
Yes.
Oh, well, there's not much you can change, I guess, really, is there? But the other thing that Specialized are sort of hanging their hat on is this new cotton tire. That's like their big thing this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what difference that makes. Some of the riders are starting to use it now, but they're certainly crapping on about rolling resistance on that one and how that's going to make a big impact. But I think that's almost clutching at straws, Jim Bob.
Cotton tyre, mate. I reckon you need to stick with your GP5s with the Kevlar belt in there, mate.
Can't go wrong, mate. You can't go wrong.
Cotton tyres.
What about some of the bikes that haven't seen a bit of an update? You know, there's the Merida has really been unchanged for bloody years now, and there's
It is the best value bike in the market, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I did pinch some of these ideas off of Bike Radar because they've actually made a statement in a recent article about the S5, how good it is, but also that any updates is likely to merge quietly, and there's no official comment for a few months from Cervelo. So they're leaning into some sort of commentary there that maybe they're hearing some rumors about some things, and they're keep an eye out peeled for the S5.
It's a tough one because the S5's such a good bike as it is. And like that's the thing, that it's like the S5's been out for how long now?
A while now.
Yeah, in that current
Style.
design.
Yep.
And you just go, what can they improve? Like they did an upgrade on the P5 last year, and it was so minor.
Yeah.
But that
Barely even notice it.
yeah, I know. And then that'll be
Just stiffen it up a bit.
Yeah, that'll be the design for the next 3 or 4 years with a little thing on the seat tube or whatever it is there.
Well, they sort of need the UCI to relax some rules around what they can do with bikes before they have the next step change, if you know
What about the Cannondale System 6?
Oh,
yeah.
This is my bike of choice. If I was going to get a crit bike, put a big single front ring on there.
56?
55. You're going to see me zooming
Big
around
dog.
buzz. In the wheels, of course. Not seeing any wheels. Because I'm such a skirt at the moment. But that'd be me.
They need to do something with the System 6, so big update.
Well, yeah, it's sort of non-existent now. You don't hear of it at all.
No,
Do EF even ride them?
I haven't seen them on it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I know Ben Healy has used a System 6
Yep.
quite often, but that probably has more to do with him being relatively small. And you see in a lot of the teams, the smaller riders where they already have the bike weight down will go for the more aero bike
True.
because they've already got it down.
Yep.
But even using that same idea, if you look at Visma Lisa bike and how many of them all rock the S5, like even at Paris-Nice, we had Matteo Jorgensen just ripping up every single climb, every single day, always on the S5.
Smaller guys on smaller bikes, it fills in more of the two triangles as well. So, like, relatively, the frame thickness on a smaller frame takes up more of that front triangle of the frame. So it's aerodynamically better than, say, like a bigger person on a 58 or a 61, where width of the tubing is actually not proportionate to the size
Yeah,
of the
that makes sense.
frame.
In fact, the recent 2024 changes to the UCI rules on compensation triangles, which is a fancy way of saying the distance that any particular shape can be on a bike or a rectangle can be in a bike, got up to 160 millimeters, particularly from the head tube back into the top tube and down tube. And it was specifically to address that concern that Jim Bob raised. They were seeing that people were dropping to 2 or 3 frame sizes down, then running much longer stems, bigger stacks, because it was a slightly more aero advantage. And so they sought to address it by changing that rule. Now they've done it, and then of course you see poor UnoX can't get any of their bars to fit. So this is evolution as well as revolution.
Man, we've gone down a nerdy
Yeah,
wormhole
sorry
here.
about
I'm
engineers
loving
tonight.
it, eh? Like, I'm here and we're just doing it. It's so good.
I mean,
have to
we're
get-
still only at the bars. We
I
haven't
know.
gone into the top tubes. We haven't gone into
that's
down
next
tubes. We haven't
week's
dropped
problem.
seats. Days.
Kurt's falling asleep here.
No
Wake
bottom
up, Kurt.
brackets.
Bottom brackets. Oh my gosh, that's a whole episode.
Oh, very good.
I reckon we'll have to get Johnny on every time a new bike comes out.
Well, there's plenty coming, I'm sure.
He can do a full deep dive for us.
He's excited.
Should we keep moving forwards and have a look at what's coming up this weekend in terms of Milano San Remo, which is
Well,
everyone's favourite race?
Greatest race.
Should we talk about the biggest race that's happening?
Q Tour.
And then we'll talk
Okay.
about Milano
Okay,
San
okay.
Remo. And it all starts this Friday with a crit around South Bank. How you boys feeling for that?
Nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little nervous. Just because you hear about the past down there.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
It will be good to watch.
Any tips, Shauno?
Stay at the front.
Stay upright.
How far forward?
Well, yeah, you want to be on the front of the start line. That's probably the biggest tip.
Get there early.
And because you're not a jersey wearer, it's almost near impossible. And you're not Brennan. It's near on impossible for us.
Oh, but you're a Niner, mate, so you don't know.
Yeah.
You are the home team.
That's true.
You might also have one of your DS just drive through and get you
Straight to the
minutes
front.
up the road. I don't know.
Lap the field.
Why'd he come through and just part the
Clear
seats for
the-
the boys?
Instead of
CDA
a
like a
sticky
needle.
tube, just sticky orthotic, mate.
If you could see his hand.
Hanging out a little carbon fiber thing out the side of the car.
A little
Grab
copper
onto me
9
foot,
out the
eh?
window.
Hold on. Hold the shoe.
What's Ren
Oh, the
doing?
shoe.
Is Ren also there?
No, he's
No,
overseas.
Rendiggities.
He's overseas now.
Ren diggity
that
dog.
finish would have suited him too.
Yeah, it would have. It would
Be
have.
filthy about that. But and then you got to back it up Saturday morning. What time's your TT start on
It's
Saturday?
reverse order. So wherever you finish on the crit, you go off first. So, but it's about 8:30 start, I think it is. So
Jeez, how are you going to survive, mate? You wouldn't be able to get up.
I'll be up early, which is good.
Yeah, but you won't be able to get up that early.
Yeah, but at least it's a bit cooler. So the big rig won't overheat as much then.
Yeah.
Might need to shave those arms, mate. Jesus Christ. Some hair on there. You could save a few watts. You know, mate.
At least
You need
two.
to get some of those sparms that are
I've
going
got some
around
of
on
those.
Facebook.
We went through all this at Nationals last year. He knows.
I
the
don't know.
drill.
I'm not going to tell you all the stuff we've got to do, Kurto. Don't want to get you excited,
Shave
mostly.
your face while you're at it.
Mate,
There's
you got to
another
leave a little
wall.
bit of mystery.
Little bit
You
of
gotta
mystery.
Leave a little bit of mystery. around.
Hey, you could be like Michael Matthews. It could be an excuse.
I was
didn't-
thinking I should leave it.
Yeah. And then you should have shaved 4 days ago and you would have been fine. So,
Perfect.
You would have been fine.
Then that's the TTs on the next morning. I think
Yeah.
8.9 Ks. Looking about, what, 15 minutes, Jim?
Pretty lumpy, man. And I figured out today that. So my
This is
plan is
negative.
not to burn too many matches in the first 2 stages, so that you've still got some bullets to fire in the 90k road race at Lakeside, and then the 115k road race on Sunday.
it's all on a road bike, I'm guessing. You're not allowed
Yep.
TT bikes.
And I've figured out, based on what we think the winner's time and speed will be, what I need to do to make time cut.
Yeah, right. And you're just going to ride to time cut, you reckon?
I reckon, like, I'll ride to 350 watts for 15 minutes, and
Okay.
that's my plan, man. I'm not going to burn too many matches there.
How are
You
you
got
going to
the-
recover in between?
Yeah, I was going to
races
say,
make
you
sure
got
you
the,
go the whole distance.
you got the boots, you got the Nordo boots or whatever they're called.
The what? For recovery?
Normatec boots, is
Yeah,
it?
you got those.
Oh, mate. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to go home and look after kids. In
Oh, I'm wondering if you're. Oh, I thought you were going to say I was going to get a hand shandy at home. Okay, well, that's a bit different to what I was thinking.
What time's the Camise start Saturday, Arvo?
2:30.
2:30.
Ooh, yeah, it's a bit of a wait around, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is, yeah.
I was thinking about rolling the swag out and having a grandpa sleep.
Oh, it's
Could
something
get
to
around
do.
that.
Maybe have a few vinos. You seem to do your best work
I
with a
did.
few vinos.
If I had a
Would
couple
the,
of
would the
pints.
Porsche fit the swag, mate? Or you got to take the
Back seats, you can lay down
Got to
back
take the Cullen.
the bench.
You got to take the
Oh,
Rolls
yeah.
Royce down, hey?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I thought so.
I actually reckon Lakeside on Saturday Arvo is going to be a bit of fun, man. It's 40 laps,
Oh, it's next level.
which is like
2
you know how they
hours.
do Anzac 25 feels like a long
Yeah.
race.
25 laps, mate.
It's the Lakeside 40.
Well, I hope they also book the track.
Bookers.
At the same
Yeah, I hope
time
they
as-
book the track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they book the track. That would help.
Just see like the
that was funny,
Nisbo
though.
group show up. Check out me Rex,
Got the
WRX
turbo
is
done up.
coming through, mate.
Love it.
Mate, get the Porsche up there, mate. Show them
Yeah.
that's done.
And we drive the Cullen.
And then you got Whammy with the Campbell's Pock finish on Sunday.
Hopefully it's
Yeah,
not
that's it.
raining.
Mate, Whammerin is so
the
far away.
weather
Looks
weather
right.
looks really good for you guys this weekend.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
So tell us why would the course change? What was the background for that? Because it wasn't originally supposed to be the Campbell's Pocket climb.
No, it
No.
was meant to be a Debra loop, like what we
Remember
did at QRTS.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yep.
Oh, so they've changed it because
now
they've...
it's-
I reckon because of Debra Road. I reckon.
Yeah,
100%.
mate, it was pretty
No.
dumb to think they were going to get away with that.
Yeah. Like to
Do
get.
you reckon you just put
to
it out
get-
there and just ask for forgiveness? Is that what I'm thinking?
I don't
Yeah.
know, mate.
But to get permits for that, man, that is
Big road to close.
that's a big road to close.
So there's 10 laps around the bottom of Campbell's Pocket on that little whammy round course with a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
tight corners in there. Which
And the-
will
It's
a
be
fun
taking
course.
and the
speed.
tax always out.
Yeah, the
Always
tax
put
are there.
The tax always out.
Yeah, jeez.
Fuck.
And
yeah,
then,
someone's going
uh,
to get a flat for sure there.
Yeah.
More than one.
Nah, that's all right. I'll just get Whitey to tow me back in.
Yeah.
Holding on the side
Hold
of the
on.
shoe of
Hold
the
on to
Lisa
the-
Bayer's wagon.
What is it? Holy orthotic.
Hold the orthotic.
It's actually a really good circuit.
It is
Like
a good
and
circuit
it's a bit
because
of
it's
grace,
got,
yeah.
got a little bit of pinches in it.
It's got a few pinches. It's quite fast as well.
It is fast.
Like
you can get a roll up the hills.
Yep.
I think the last time we raced it, didn't Kirby go away with Rhino and
And
Schultz?
Cav. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Speaking of Schultze,
Schultz
He's
is
moved
making
back.
an appearance for the Niners this weekend.
You're joking.
Well, he's moved
Hey?
back to Brisbane.
hey, has he?
Yeah, moved back to Brisbane. I saw Steph also posted a photo. They've got a dog. So soon they're going to get married there.
Yeah, they're due.
Oh yeah, that's on the way.
Is that a leading indicator?
That's leading indicator.
Yeah, that's big.
hot off
That's
the
how you
press.
hold the baby back, and then after that, yes.
Yeah, you're done. You're done for there. But that's all right.
Gee, Schultze for you. That'll be good for you.
Oh, mate. He's a proper hitter, but we've lost Sammy J and
yeah.
Benny Carmen.
Where are they?
really?
And they're all overseas.
Ah.
Yeah.
And Rowan.
And Rowan.
All right.
And little Ollie.
Ollie Sims.
Yeah, he's off in Europe as well.
So
So,
it's the Masters team, basically.
Masters
right?
team, mate.
It's-
It's the B grade team.
they've got all the reserves in.
Yep.
These two bros.
First reserve,
Yeah.
second
Nick-
reserve.
Nick-
Hey, the
Nick-
good news is we'll
Nick's
win
race.
the over 40 category.
How many are in that?
Nah,
One.
3?
Me and
There's
the Wang.
You and the Wang.
You and the Wang.
It's good to see the Wang coming up, man. I got excited when I saw his name on the start list.
I think he's excited too.
Well,
Had a few
it'll be
texts.
good, it'll be good battle. Who can finish the first?
Do you reckon you'll get it done, Freebs?
Nah, Wang's got me covered, mate.
reckon?
I think that climb suits him more than it suits you, mate.
It's a brutal climb, and after 10 laps on the gas, and then
The gravel
having
climb?
Lakeside
No,
one.
so it finishes at the start of the gravel climb.
What?
Yeah.
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 Why?
So it's not too bad.
It's not too far up.
That's not a hard climb. Then when you think of
You-
like
What is that,
the
about 5
gravel,
minutes?
the gravel's proper like 15, 20.
Yeah,
climb.
it's not that long, but
So do they go
it's-
around the top then? Up
No,
towards
no.
They just finish at the
just
top.
finishes just before, like you know how you do that sharp right to go on the
yeah.
gravel. It finishes there.
That's
yeah,
it.
Yep.
I like that.
I'm happy with that.
with
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
good.
of course you're happy
Yeah,
with that.
you're really
At
happy
with that.
89 kilos, mate, you'll be happy with anything.
But you still got to get up that first steep pinch, which will
be hard work.
Yeah, that's a K from the finish. Yeah,
That's where Donkey did good lead out straight into it.
yeah.
The donk.
Yeah, he blew a gasket there.
I wonder, will you see some of the Pro Velo teams doing full lead outs?
Oh, of course
Oh,
you
they
can.
will, mate.
Oh.
You know, in Tour Down Under, when they lead out into the corkscrew at like full beans, that'd be awesome to see that.
55 Ks an hour, mate.
Yeah, full noise, drop off the climbers.
Jim Bob will just drop me off, and I'll
Also drop off.
and then I'll hand it straight to Elliot.
I got to be Wang.
I'll hand it straight to Elliot.
Mate, if you blads are still there at the end, I'll be very
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Anyway, it's gonna be a bit of a fun.
That's it. I'm looking forward to hearing all about it next week.
So am I. There's going to be stories, mate. There's going to be war stories.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully all safe war stories.
Yes.
But
So
in the women, actually, so yeah, we've got Jack Ward. He looks like to be the favourite to wrap it up, but Zach Marriage is very close.
You won't go
behind.
down without fighting.
No, not at all. And we know Zach loves a climb, so
Loves a second as well.
yeah,
so
loves a
hopefully that
second
could
too.
change.
But hopefully he can break that this week and get on the top step. He's a good TTer actually, Zach. So
current
he-
Australian,
yeah,
23.
he could go all right. And Sophie Ma looks to be the favourite to take out the women's over her teammate Talia Appleton. So that's Pratty's 1-2 by the looks of it. But the good thing to note with this is both the favourites are also under 23 riders.
Yeah, it's great.
So
Contract.
yeah, so it's actually worked. I like that because it's not like who could we say?
Sam Jenner or something.
Yeah, it's not a Sam Jenner that's going to win the overall.
Wasn't Brendan Davids winning
Yeah, I
the
was gonna say-
overall at the moment?
No, Jack Waters.
Jack Ward.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But to be fair, a lot of those guys that are over the age of 23 haven't raced every single round or something like that.
yeah.
The ones
Well,
that could.
Jack Ward hasn't raced every single round.
Yeah, which I'm confused about. How is Zach Marriage not in the lead then?
Yeah, I was looking at the leaderboard, the Savi, and
Something ain't mathin'. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, you get more points for coming first, mate.
Well, thanks, Max Verstappen. Thanks, Max Verstappen.
did you see Max's? He's had this 1,000-day streak
yeah,
of
he got snapped
leading.
1,029 days, mate.
Yeah, bloody hell.
It wouldn't be the first time in
Very.
a cycling Excel spreadsheet counting up points for
Oh.
different teams hasn't quite made
to plan.
sense.
Oh, yeah.
It seems
I'm
to
sure
happen
he'd
fairly
be-
regularly in the world of cycling. Someone
sure
needs
he'd be
to
all
check
over
their
it, mate.
spreadsheets.
No, I'm sure Michael Matthews has used that excuse before too.
You
Some of the name mathin'.
use the
without
sum
a-
function, mate.
Yeah.
Bit of sum.
Yeah, sum bracket. These nuts across your face. Plug bracket equals.
Close bracket.
Big Excel kind of guy I am.
Mate, you and your spreadsheets.
Love 'em.
so good.
Working out your CDAs or CDFs.
Cash flows.
You love a cash
Fucking
flow.
come to you, mate.
Mate, run at me.
Speaking of bling, do you reckon he'll stay away from the spicy pasta this year or what?
Hope so.
Hope so, mate. Don't want to hear that excuse again. That was dribble on dribble. That was a terrible excuse. But dead set, I'm going to go with a little smoky. Like, obviously, I think Pog is probably favourite to win. Or maybe Milan if he makes it over.
Mate, I'm on
but
Mads.
I'm going Magnus Court.
I'm on Mads.
I'm going Magnus Court.
Yeah, actually, I
good
reckon
name.
Mads Pedersen is fuck.
Matt,
he
do you see
rode
how
well
he
last
climbed the
week.
last couple of days?
Mate, like a gazelle.
Mate, his climbing was unbelievable. But yeah, I'd love to see Magnus Court get up.
Why?
Mate, he's had a great start to the season. He's every year he's had one win in the World Tour apart from
Yeah.
I think it was like 2014
Yeah.
or something like that. And he's already got 4 this year or 5 this year.
He has had a good start.
He's got a good
That
boost.
first that race that he picked up a lot of wins at.
Yeah, that was
lower
C
quality.
grade. Yeah, that was C grade. But at the end of the
But
day,
with
you
the
got to
win
get the
to win, mate.
confidence. You got to get the confidence.
But I'm
And-
with you for Mads Pedersen.
I'm on
Like
Mads.
we were watching those climbs, and he's up there leading Joao Almeida, and Joao Almeida is like the guy
Mate,
who
pull-
can like attack and drop himself at the same time. So to see like Mads just toweling him up in the green jersey as well,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to really just rub it in.
You also see the final stage. He sprinted
There's a way.
over the top.
Over the top.
to get the final points for the
I
green
don't think
jersey.
he even needed them.
No, he didn't.
He
But-
just like did it because he's like
well, it's a
Mads.
training ride,
What a
obviously.
G.
So, but yeah,
What about fresh off Adriatico? Ganna.
Nah.
Coming second in GC.
I think
Mate, he had to get up all those climbs as well.
is Sheffield riding?
Mate, punting on World Tour cycling has to be the worst punting you've ever
Yeah.
done.
Oh,
the odds
easily.
of getting it are just
Especially
rubbish.
We're just going
Particularly
Pog. You're just going
this
Pog.
race
Yeah.
as well is hard.
When Pog's in the race too, geez.
Paying $1.15.
Could it be a double Pog?
$1.02.
Yeah, I was
Could it
going
be
to
a-
say. Mate, to be honest, hey, we went down on the weekend. Shawnee is up about $400 from $40,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
we went to the casino for 5 minutes. His first bet, he bet it on 27. with $30 and it landed straight away.
In and out.
And we're
Bang.
alright. And also
Doesn't count normally, mate.
chucked
Yeah,
a
the
multi
boys.
on. Chucked a multi on. I failed, of course, on one leg, and I had a tenner, 10 leg on.
I had
He
an
got
8 leg.
8 leg turns into like $300.
Yes. Mate,
That's
you-
gold.
Or on Campbell.
Yeah. So you
dear.
could go with his bet this week, mate. You might get up.
What is it? Third time's a charm.
I'm picking
Mate,
either
You're calling it double poggy.
like Pog's favourite for me. I reckon Ganna could be a smoky.
Kurto could go.
Van der Poel.
Nah.
No, VDP looks really good.
Yeah, I
Like,
like
he
Mate,
showed up.
Pidcock won't even be.
Who?
Pidcock won't even be there.
No.
I don't see
I
him
don't think
being
he's
there.
Take him
strong
off
enough
the
to get up
list.
to climb.
He doesn't
and he
boost
wouldn't.
hard
He
enough.
wouldn't beat any of these boys in a sprint.
But he can descend like a house on fire. So I'm saying he could drop you on the descent, mate. If he makes it over, if there's like 5 or 8 of them,
MV, mate.
Could
MV
be there,
is a
bro.
very good call.
Sagan might actually come out of retirement from Dancing on the Stars and
Nah,
might
he's
just
looking
rock
good.
up.
He's looking
Mate.
good on these.
Oh, how are we feeling about Peter Sagan on Dancing with the Stars?
He's looking good.
I didn't realise how many Gronk tattoos he has.
He's a bit of a show pony, isn't he?
I still love him, but geez, those tattoos are atrocious.
This is total news to me. Have I been living under a
Yeah,
rock?
mate, you have been. You haven't had power for a freaking week and a half.
Yeah. Get your Tesla on charge, please. Yeah.
Oh, let's hope has he worn a pair of the 100% yet?
Nah, not yet. I'm waiting for it. He's got a man bun going or something.
Yeah, he's had that for ages.
Yeah, but what's the go there? I
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
like you're
pretty
40
bad.
years old, mate. Get a haircut.
it's like a man bun, but also a ponytail, as well as like a mullet. It's like he's gone for all of the haircuts in one go. Gone, me be there.
He dressed as Ken from Barbie the other
Well,
day.
he didn't choose that, mate. That would have just been their dance.
No, he would have loved that.
He would have loved
Even,
it.
I've got this.
Soon he'll be on like Love Island or Maths. I
Yeah, that'd be
reckon.
sick.
And he'd be all for that because he's
Love Island.
still single or something. Like he had the biggest downfall from that.
Love Island.
Oh,
be
yeah, when he got
fair-
divorced.
Yeah,
well,
man.
hey, talking about Love Island, we've got our own island, the Backside. What happened on the Backside this weekend? We should probably keep the show.
Oh, jeez.
Show them moving, eh?
We've just skipped the whole inaugural of the women's race,
Oh, bloody it.
the Milano San Remo.
Wind it back, man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, who do you
Mate,
fancy? I mean,
it's a hot start list. We've got Demi Vollering, Lottie Kopecky, Kristen Faulkner, Marianne Voss, Elisa Longo Borghini. Like, it's a
What about Poggy's little mistress going through?
Zergaard.
yeah. Imagine if she got.
I would say if everybody was fit, Lotte Kopecky every day of the week.
But it's her first race
But
of
it's
the
her
year,
first
though.
race back. So I feel like it's Elsa Longo Borghini. She's the Italian. The team are going to be behind her. She's had a great start to the season.
I'm going Demi.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I don't think FDJ are strong enough.
Yeah.
I think she's going to get work. I mean, one of the other podcasts, which is the SD working over Demi Vollering, which is like pretty poor form. But I mean, it's racing.
Yeah.
I just think it'll be hard for her. And I feel like Longo Borghini, that's the one who has a full committed team. She's looking good.
I'm going Vollering. I don't reckon Vollering needs a team behind her
Neither.
to get her to the line.
She's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mate, she could get it done, but I think it'd also be pretty cool to see the Pogs get the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, double pog.
Double
Double
pog. It would be insane to see, wouldn't it?
Imagine the kiss on the podium.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be,
could you imagine
yeah.
it?
They'd probably propose to her then and there.
Mate, imagine the baby.
I reckon the best part of Milano
Baby's going
San
to come out with
Remo-
an FTP of 400 straight out of the womb, 6,000 at 18. Got a,
They'll
got a
lactate-
max sprint of
Mate,
10,000.
They'll be lactate testing it in the bloody.
It's got blood bags as fucking.
Break the monitor.
Imagine getting like, you know how you meant to give him baby formula and breastfeed? It's
Yeah.
blood bags
Blood
instead. Straight on it.
just boosting.
Yeah, boost it, brother.
This is the longest.
He's just absolutely on the, instead of his first steps, mate, he's on the trainer. Like, he's
Dude,
on
like,
he's on
40,
Swift.
20s.
He's on Swift on 40/20s. There you go. That's
40/20s.
homework at 5 years old. FTP test. Bang.
No, Mum, not again.
Yeah.
Get on that trainer. I reckon the best part of Milano San Remo is everyone just butchering all the Italian names, like the
Yeah.
Poggio and the Cipressa, and I love it. Like just sitting there and like it just feels so authentic.
What are you,
know
rolling
what
a pasta, mate?
Oh yeah, but you know the
Hey.
or the Cipressa.
I love the way Jim Bob's using the hands.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's rolling a pasta.
Because that's what you got. Like, you got to roll the shoulders a little bit. You're like, hey, I'm a depressa.
But like all the commentators get really into it, you know what I mean? And everyone's doing it on the couch. And I reckon that's the coolest part about Milano San Remo.
The Italians do it well.
Yeah, it's beautiful. A beautiful race. And it is very Italian, you know. It's 4 or 5 hours like pissing around doing nothing on the coast. And then like, oh shit, we must race. Quick, I'm in the Cipressa. I know wrong one. I punch you. I'm tired now. Oh, we finish here.
We must see
I
that
hope Michaeli's not listening to that.
Yeah, he'll
bad
be
Italian
listening to this.
accent.
He'll be devastated, mate.
But in other news, someone wants to bring up that Plappy podcast.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, mate, I was listening to
What
his
is
potty.
that?
Stanley Street Social. He's
Come on
like,
here, Plappy.
He's talking himself up. He's like, seeing I didn't win Aussie Nationals, I'm thinking of coming down for Oshis and repping the Oceania jersey.
Come on down, Plappy.
He's going to come out to Colo and go do it, is he?
Go to Colo.
He's thinking about it.
Fly first class, straight in, straight out. He's on the F1.
On the chopper.
He's on the F1. Yeah, chopper from the airport.
Because he goes, it's a great opportunity to get some points.
Well, there you go. They need points, Jaco.
It is 100 points.
Yeah.
Every
It'd
local
be great
Conti
to see
rider.
someone of his caliber come out and like people might actually want to go down to watch Oshis.
No.
A Colo. Mate, they'll have the car stolen.
Leave it for a Conti rider, man.
They got Liam Walsh there, mate.
Yeah. Leave it for a local Conti rider, man.
Nah.
But like it,
Take them all.
Honestly,
it's one of those things.
I'm all
like,
for if you're going to spend $20,000 to get back here and go home for 100 points and potentially win a white jersey, potentially, mate, you don't know what could happen.
There's a few potholes out there.
Mate, Colo, there's some cookers that live out there, brother. You don't know what happens with a few tacks on the road. You're done. So spend your 20K, go do it. I'm all for that. I'll come out and watch. I'd love to see him. Big fan of him. I love to see the Aussies are back because
That's just cool.
I'm just all for that.
Does anyone know? Has anyone heard anything about if it is going to be out at Colo or if they're looking at doing it somewhere else?
Unsure, but it's going to be like in August or something.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Nice and cool.
Yeah,
Happy might even come back then, mate.
yeah.
Hopefully no one comes back and everyone's overseas and maybe it's just a Masters race.
That'd be cool.
That'd be good. The race for cat. Because we've talked about this before, Freeze. It's like, imagine if you could show up and like just sneak a UCI point like by default. And then you'd be on pro cycling stats. You'd like load it up with your friends. Like,
That's my goal.
where's your UCI points?
That's my number
The
one
local
goal.
buzz crit.
One UCI point and I'll retire.
Yeah, you reckon?
That's it.
No, you wouldn't retire.
Yep.
Amber would make him. Amber would be like, oh.
No, Amber's like get Freebs out of the house so that Amber can have her time
You can go
too.
shopping.
Yeah.
Get the cart going.
You're lucky bike bug's on, mate. You're hiding a few things. There's a few things rocking up to my house in Auckland Flower from you. Might have to tell Amber about this.
Yeah, thanks. She's a long-term listener.
Yeah. Big fan.
Anyway, we'll get to the mountain now, Freebs. You're a bit eager for it before.
Well, I was just
but
looking at the amount of time and how much dribble we've been talking.
Yeah.
So I was just
That's
conscious
fine,
of
mate.
listeners' ears.
It's
But
long
I
enough
shouldn't
for
have.
a
I shouldn't have skipped across the Milan San Apologies.
yeah, Sammy Madden. He was
having a heart attack up there, doing 7:38.
7:38. It's bloody
Little
quick.
PB though with 170 PB
Beats.
beats
Spit it
per
out.
minute and 378 Wateroos. Jesus Christ!
He must be quite light.
he's a little lad.
It's from Tassie, mate.
Loves climbing.
Breed him different and down there, don't they?
And Sammy Manzano also got a PR 745 for 380. So
About the
like
same.
about the same weight.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mate. And Charlie
Big old
Volkanovski.
Yep.
He's straight out of the MMA UFC Fight Club. Dana White was like, get on the cross training. He's done in 8 minutes up there. No heart rate, but he's got 374 wackaroos on him. Jesus
a big
Christ.
lad?
I don't know. I think that might need to calibrate because Volkanovski's got no neck. I know that. I'm not sure about this one.
Dear. There was a big PR that went down this morning, which we'll talk about next week. But
Yeah,
there's
I
a
know.
full lead out train in the mountain.
We'll give him a shout out now. Benny Moriarty, you're on.
You're a cooker.
For his birthday.
You're a cooker.
Was it a birthday?
It's a birthday
Oh, mate,
wish.
he's been having a big birthday, hasn't he?
It's a
an
bender.
extended birthday.
My bender of riding a
But-
bike. Yeah, sounds fun.
And it hadn't got a 1043 in the women
That's
with
quick.
187 watts.
That's light.
That is a light. And Haley Ward, 1047, 202. Leanne Peters snagged a PR, 1143. So congratulations there. And
I
that's
don't reckon I could even get up sub 11
I'd be
at the
track
moment.
No, you'd be
standing
in
at
11s, mate.
187 watts on Kurto.
yeah.
I'm not going
Just
anywhere.
enough pressure on the pedals to stay still.
I'm track standing.
I honestly don't reckon I could do a sub 11 at the moment.
I don't think you could either.
I reckon you could.
I wouldn't be able to move after I got to the top.
No. Defib's up there.
Mick Bates specialty.
Yeah, exactly. How's that? Are we still going the Sturker discount code for
Yeah,
Is that
it's
still
the last week of the discount code. I've actually had a lot of people reach out to me about the Sturker products since running it.
It's
And
good value.
It's good value. Plenty of carbs in there, and this is the last week for your 15% off. So use the code Backside when you are checking out on bikebug.com. But I do want to .au. I do want to talk about a couple other things. This is not an official shopping cart, so don't play the music.
Ooh.
But this is a bit of a precursor. I might be trialing this week for the TT and maybe the Crit. I might put on the Aero, the new Conti tyre, the Aero Mark III.
As I always say, it's always
111.
good to try something new on race day. I hope it all goes well for you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. It's so nice of you.
Yeah, that all
sounded real
never
genuine.
anything new on race day.
No, I did it the day before.
This would be like Freebs calling me up there before G2I and he's like, hey, Johnny, do you reckon I could do 160 carbs an hour? And I'm like, no, Freebs, you cannot.
He called me and I said yes.
I was like, right, on average, I'll do it.
140 it is.
140, I averaged it out. And then we're actually doing some going to do some testing with Fulcrum. They've got a new wheel out. So we're doing some stuff with that
That's exciting.
with the next couple of weeks as well.
These new Shark wheels are fucking amaze balls.
They look sexy.
They do look sexy.
They look terrific. I mean, like a lot of companies have been experimenting with different types of shark tooth profiles now, and what they've done, and to be able to achieve the price point they have with the Fulcrum reels, it's fantastic.
It looks good. So we don't want to. It'll be on the cart in the next week or two, and we'll actually have some pretty good discounts on that too, which is going to be good for those that want to get in the cart.
Seems like a really good place to wind it up, boys. It's been a big episode. We've
That
had
is
a
a
lot
big
of fun.
Had a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, hope you enjoyed yourself, mate.
I'm going
Oh, I've
straight
had-
to sleep.
I've had such a blast. And I apologize. I feel like the episode has gone on because I've talked too much, but I've really enjoyed it. It's great crack.
We're gonna have to get you back, mate. Maybe once a quarter we'll get Johnny on to just
Tour de
talk.
France edition, mate.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
reckon a Tour de France Saturday night. I'm all for that.
What about like a Giro preview, a Tour de France preview,
Volta.
a Volta preview?
I'm down
John-
for that. If the podcast can handle it, I'm
It'd
happy
be good to
talk
get some
about
feedback
it.
from the listeners. We might put a survey out before you make that sort of commitment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
Let's
all
do
for
it.
having you back, mate.
All right, lads.
Pleasure.
We'll see
well
you
done on the
next week.
Guinness today too, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thanks so much, all.
Scott.
Hooroo.
Ciao.
Yes.
500 watts, please.